Hey, what's up, everybody? We're going to be working on this track today. I just want to play it down so you can see what we're working on. Here we go. Just going to skip ahead a little bit here to this next part. Skipping ahead again. All right, so we're sort of at this kind of breakdown part. For those of you who don't know, the way that I kind of work on tracks is I use this method that I came up with called greening, where I literally turn all the clips green like this if I'm sort of approving them. And then I have this like little locator that I've linked it to the number 0. Also, for those of you who don't know, I work in, all my tracks are 3 movements long. So I label those M1, M2, and M3. And I've got those assigned to 1, 2, and 3. This one isn't. Now it is. I've got those assigned 1, 2, and 3, so I can just jump around in the song as I want to. So, you know, here, if I press 2, then I'm over here at 3, 1, and then I can press 0 at any time to go to right here. So it sort of gives me a little bit of lead-in. Something weird at that turnaround. I'm just going to take a look at this bar. try not to use this 12 playbox instrument. It's something that, it just comes in like later in the track, and I try not to do this where I have like kind of elements coming in like too late, like it's almost like a character has entered into the movie like too late into it. So what I'd like to try to do is use these melodic elements, just kind of see where we're going with that. Also, I've set up kind of like a bit of a drum beat here, which I think there's going to be kind of a repeated element. So I want to see how that interfaces with this like kind of stretched beat that I have going here. I'm just going to take it from the locator. Trying to determine if this stretched metalloid thing should come in earlier. Probably should. It's kind of nice to have like a little quiet moment though that goes on for more than these two or four bars. Like that's cool. I definitely want to when I know that I have to redo stuff, I'll actually label it in red because that sort of indicates to me that I want to create like a variation of this, but I just want to kind of get like the basic arrangement going right now, and yeah, then we'll kind of go from there, see what happens. Kind of like that. Like I feel like both of these instruments coming in at the same time is not going to help us. People are still getting used to the arrangement as such. So yeah, just kind of want to see if we can kind of hold this kind of more quiet moment for a little bit longer. Taking it from the locator again. Steven in the chat, what's up, man? I did record something yesterday down here with this trigon part that I want to kind of bring in. I've got some hardware here off the side. Let's see what 142 is. Let's see this. Got the Moog selected. 1 second. That doesn't sound like what I want. 1 second. Yeah, that's that synth. And then there's 146. Seems to be very similar. Maybe a little bit more reverb. Let's go with 142. See if we can do something with this. So what I'm sort of listening to, I'm trying to find like the space where this instrument could go. I think what will probably need to happen is that I'll need to layer this stuff. So this section will get extended. Let me just push these guys back. So let's just duplicate this. You know, again, it's a placeholder. We're going to change it later. But I think it probably makes sense. You know, we get 4 instances of this summit sort of introducing itself. This other summit patch, this sort of high-pitched one that does kind of like these, you know, those kinds of notes. That's just going to be kind of sprinkled in here, but we're sort of creating a bed with this summit and the trigon. But I think, you know, it's like these summit notes, essentially they're kind of like these pads that it's one note that gets kind of held out. So I think somewhere like sort of in the second half of this measure will be a place where the trigon could appear. And, you know, maybe just a very simple variation of what I did here. We'll review that. Let's check it out. Like, I just don't want to mute my microphone as well. Hold on. So over here. Like maybe I could make a variation of that, right? It's very simple. It's just... Okay, so even though the track is written in E minor, I'm sort of hammering away at the 5th, which I could use to my advantage to create a sort of variation. So let's try for that. Maybe I'll just loop this part a bunch and see if we can come up with something in this section. Yeah, it seems like that's cool. You know, just kind of some almost like syncopated, almost jazzy notes. Let's just record a bunch of stuff. Let's do it. Yeah, so we've got a bunch of raw material there. I think with this patch in particular, if I go up too high, it sort of loses that sort of weird, warbly, kind of square wave thing that this patch is. Yeah, let's see what we can like kind of maybe just leave that there for a second, just kind of maybe review and see where we're at. So I like these 3 bits right here. I'm going to kind of color in blue just to indicate that I like them. I'm actually going to shift this whole thing down over because we sort of need the intro of this. So basically my loop point will change. I probably have to just extend my drums just for now, just kind of extend the loop. I'll work on like sort of chopping up the kicks and all that kind of stuff later. But yeah, just so I can get kind of like a vibe, just duplicate that real simple. And then this Nord drum down here, this sort of unique hit that it's doing, I'm not sure if we're going to want any of that in here because the section's already getting pretty busy. Let's see what happens. Cool, so let's get rid of the parts that we didn't like. Maybe just throw this. It's probably going to come in here, right? Yeah, let's just move this stuff up and see where we're going. I always manage to do 3 good ones, and then the 4th one is just bad. I'm looking for basically an ending cadence here. I've got some good stuff here, but it sort of doesn't do that call and response thing that I'm sort of looking for. That one could be one. Let's maybe try this one. It's a little bit more involved. It sort of does something that's a little bit less expected. Oops. I might chop out one note there. Let me see. Where are we? It's the same note. Let's not do that. Let's just pick something better. Maybe that one. I want to kind of have that be kind of more definitive note, like it's almost like getting chopped off. Like right as the beat comes in, it's like just getting chopped. let's see. Again, we need like another cadence. I want to see if these white ones are good for me. That's fine. That's good. Good. Yeah, that one works. Let's go and maybe chop it a little bit. A little bit longer. Sifting through takes. Nope, definitely not that one. It's too high. Maybe that one. Isn't this fun? That one too. Cool. Let's review this. These sort of like staticky hits come in after this. We also haven't heard this Summit instrument in a little while, so maybe that guy comes in too. Because we're kind of losing it over here, so maybe I think it probably only just makes sense to just come in with like a little bit of some of these plinks, you know. I'm thinking, you know, I think it would be if we've duplicated this. I think it would create enough variation where people wouldn't realize that it's like, you know, a 12 pattern. You know, usually people are looking for 4 or 8. So maybe we could try this. I'll just keep duplicating out this metalloid thing just for now. And move this guy down. Da-da-da-da-da. Copy this. Keep extending this. And then we'll go in and really create these like drum variations. Probably gonna see, like right there, that's a really great moment to like change up the metalloid thing. So where do I got this stuff over here. This is probably like a super like long take that I did. So we can pull that out and see what's up. How did I do this originally? I think I just super stretched out like an individual drum hit. I created this thing. You know, I'm using like all different types of warp modes here in Ableton. Let's see what happens when we stretch this guy out. Oh, it doesn't want to stretch out? Yeah, right. It's already really stretched. Okay, let's keep going. Yeah, I mean, once you stretch this stuff out, it kind of makes itself. I need this. let's reverse this. This might be interesting to kind of reverse. You're not going to reverse? R. I have the keyboard mode turned on. Okay. Yeah, that'll be cool to get us like in the next section. I want to kind of make sure that I'm sort of creating like a multiple of 3 or 4 bars, you know, so maybe I have sort of one more bar here left. It's obviously going a little bit off like grid, but I like the textures that it's creating, so I'm going to keep going with it. Let's see. I'm just going to highlight for myself like what 4 bars like kind of thing is, so it's just that. So I need to sort of work within that. I want to do some sort of like really glitchy thing where I just kind of take like one little slice like this and paste it a bunch of times. Maybe like that. Oops. Then put this at the end. Yeah, just like crazy like collaging is like what we want for this, I think. Let's hear this. So we really didn't hear those glitches really at all. So maybe we need to do this. Yeah, maybe something like that, just so we can kind of make it a bit more obvious. Cool, yeah, I like that. Let's keep going and just make another variation of this. Or like we'll just create another kind of couple of bars with it. Let's see if we could stretch this out even further. Oh. Are you warped as enough as you can be? Yes, you are. Dude, my keyboard is like so sticky. Like it will like shift function on me. Like it's just the Mac keyboard. I even got like a different one and it still did the same thing. It's like drives me crazy. Ever since I got this computer, I've had it, you know, so it's just like this weird thing where like I'll sometimes be clicking something and it'll shift something. It's like really annoying. What I want to do is I want to kind of go back to the source material and see if I can get something a little bit more interesting. Like this is the main take from it. So I'm just gonna paste that at the end. I'm just gonna drag out my entire performance that I did of this, which was just these like single drum hits that we heard earlier in the song. You know, it's just like this kind of stuff. Right, but they had these really nice, beautiful tails. Yeah, this is a Eurorack module called Metalloid by Steady State Fade. It's freaking amazing. I love it. So I'm just going to kind of like almost at random like grab other slices and just kind of see what we can do with it, right? Like I think this kind of stretch part, it all came from this kind of source material. But I'm just going to see like just by grabbing a different bit if we could kind of make something different out of it. I'm just going to stretch it out literally as long as I can go. There's that shift thing and that's happening again. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is any different or if it's just kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's a little bit different. But let's get I think I was on textures before. What was it? I was on beats. Okay, so let's play around with the different warp modes and see if we can get something more interesting. Let's play around with the grain size. Okay, so I like what it's doing with grain size. I don't believe that you can automate that. So I'm just going to chop it up and then just have different clips have different grain sizes. And I'm already stretched as far as I can go, so I think I'm like limited as far as when I can come in with each clip, which is fine. It's maybe not enough, or maybe the flux signals. I think with this too, like it could just kind of scream for just almost like a tape slowdown effect or something like that. Let's see, clip, transposition, maybe we could transpose just this bit down like 12 semitones or something like that. Let's see what this sounds like. Maybe a bit too much, maybe just like 5 semitones. And I'm gonna ungreen this because it is not approved. Yeah, maybe it goes on for a little bit long, so I'm just kind of go back into my source material, grab something else, do the same kind of thing. Just hide my drums so I can focus on just this. Oh, I guess that is a drum, of course. All right, cool. Love those beats that it's making. That's amazing. Wow. It's so cool. Let's definitely use that. Where were we with this? I think this is another candidate for this this reverse effect. I like what it was doing, so maybe I'll just kind of almost copy the settings on this other purple clip. Texture at around 214. That's cool, it speeds up. I actually don't know if I like it reversed. Come on, keyboard. Oh my God, it's the worst. All right, we might have totally gotten in the weeds on that, but I think for this breakdown it makes sense. I wonder too if this section actually just moves right up here. Let's maybe try that, just as a thing to do, because it's kind of just like I wanted to make a variation for that anyway later. So let's just see what happens. I mean, part of it is already, so we'll put it, I suppose, here. Actually, let's just get rid of that stuff because we did use some silence. Cool, let's play. Logan Field in the chat. What's up, John? It's really crazy. It just like kind of stays with the beat still. It's pretty nuts. Copy what we did here. It's so ridiculous. I've got to be honest, you know, this feels really filled out already. I feel like we kind of don't need this instrument in this section. Like it's only coming in to do these little plinks. I just don't feel like we need it. Let's cut it out. Less is more, right? I'm just going to save real quick. All right, let's review from the locator point. See where we are. That could be cool. I was just playing some notes on the trigon, maybe some, you know, increase the attack on it, and yeah, it could function as a really nice like kind of transition piece. You know, we've sort of been hearing this thing, you know, for however many bars, so I feel like I like that a little bit better than this. Whoops, I like that a little bit better than this sort of trebly, plinky plink kind of thing. Let's record some of that in. Might have gotten a little hot there on the old level. We clipped, but it might be okay. I might be able to just record it again. But you know, just as a kind of rough thing. Maybe I kind of liked some of these transition things, and now you know I wasn't really paying attention to where they were coming in. Just mute this guy. Yeah, maybe just in there. You know, and again, like I think it makes sense to have it abruptly cut off as things, you know, as it's just kind of like a transitional element, if you will. Like maybe there. Let's see. Maybe just before that thing. Yeah, something like that. Maybe just line it up a little bit better. Ableton. Yeah, something like that. Makes sense. I think these transitions make sense because it sets up that this is going to be a character in the next part, which it is. Maybe something could be done with this summit as well. Like we could almost like layer it up. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's already kind of creating this like a long attack type pad. Let me just switch over to it. All right, this is a patch that I call Dark Eno on my Summit, which I think is appropriate. So let's do the same kind of thing and like to just see maybe because this guy comes in earlier, maybe it will function as the transitional points here, and we'll get rid of these. Let's just see. We'll just record a bunch of stuff again and just kind of see where we're at. It's just fun. Just record it in, and like figure it out later. I'm going to lower the release on it a little bit. It's just got this insane reverb on it. I think that's what's kind of getting us. I think it's a reverb in my DAW. Yes, here's the culprit. Okay, well, let's maybe just turn that off just for now. Just go into my automations and turn off the reverb, turn off the reverb. Cool. Let's see what we got so far. It's kind of cool, like the one thing kind of leads into the other, maybe. But let's maybe stick with the original idea for now, just to see how it plays out, and then I can always undo. The Summit, man. I honestly go back and forth on it, but it's been doing some really, really nice stuff for me recently. But I've definitely thought about selling it a couple of times. I've thought about selling all my synths, honestly, and then they just do something that I'm like, okay, I can't sell you. It's just funny how that works, right? Yeah, so I think it makes sense to punctuate each of the end of the 4 or 8 bars. I think probably makes the most sense. But how are we going to do it here where this guy comes in? Let's see. I feel like we just take it out there. Yes, John. It is kind of like a horror soundtrack in the making. Yeah, I can't really help myself. What can I say? I have fun doing it. horror music all day long. Yeah. Yeah, what can I say? I don't know. Yes, David Lynch. I mean, I remember when we visited that house, the Blue Velvet house. Those two things like sound really nice together. I have to say, like they sound really good. Just like I gotta keep that in there like that. That also makes me like wonder, like should I just like double up like the same melody line with those two things? That could be really interesting for later because they're always kind of doing different parts. But yeah, that might be something for later. Anyway, I might call it quits for the stream. But thanks so much for tuning in, guys. This has been awesome. Hope you'll join me next time when I do it again. Cool. See you later.